a lot of times don't have that space to kind of spread out, take swings. Um, kind of have to be more careful. Golf is a game where you're typically playing with a golf ball that can kind of break glass. So we're going to be staying in a smaller confined area. Pretty much all I'm going to be using today is my putter. I'm going to show you a different variation of the game using a different club, right? So once we get closer to the green, situations that we're kind of put in. So today, what we're going to be working on is perseverance. So perseverance means to never give up, to keep trying. So today during my game, if I don't get it on my first hit, what is it that I'm going to do to succeed on my next hit, right? So golf is a game where one stroke doesn't make or break you. I always tell people that on course, you hit a bad shot, you give yourself an opportunity to do something better on your next shot, right? Go on the first tee box, hit it, slice it. Oh man, that's terrible. It's not on the fairway, not on the green. Well, if I have a really good shot on my second shot and I get it right next to the hole, now I'm setting myself up for success on that second shot, right? So that's something to kind of think about when you guys are playing the game of golf. Um, when we're in a smaller activity where we're going to be doing today, similar to kind of like the game of baseball. So what I have out, I'm in kind of like my home little gym area. I have three medicine balls set out. So I have a first base, second base, and third base. Like I said, I have my putter. I have real golf balls. My at-home gym floor isn't perfectly leveled. It's close, but not 100% level. I was taking some practice swings before class started right now, and seeing that the ball kind of curved on certain parts of this gym floor mat. So that's something that I'm going to take in consideration because today we're practicing aim and alignment, right? Typically, when people say, "All right, I want you to aim to your target," normally that's right, but typically now, when you're on the putting green, that kind of changes a little bit. So it's going to change because not all putting greens are flat, meaning my golf ball is not going to travel from point A to B. It's going to take a little curve to my target, right? So typically now, what you would see a lot of golfers do is they kind of take a step back, they get low to the floor, and they try to what's called read the putting green, right? Because they don't want to aim to the hole if the hole isn't straight. If their ball isn't going to travel straight, sometimes your shots might. Sometimes a lot of courses make their putting greens different levels, so there might be a couple little hills where the putting green isn't completely flat, making it more challenging. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do. The game, what's going to happen is there's three bases: first base, second base, third base. I have three, four, five. Put off five golf balls from my bag. So each round, I'm going to be going to one base and one base only, right? But each round, in order to succeed, I have to get three out of those five golf balls to hit um, the first base, right? So first five golf balls I hit have to go to that first base. They have to hit the bag, right? The ball. Second round, if I succeed, then I go to the next base. I have to hit three out of those five golf balls. Lastly, third base, three out of those five golf balls. If I don't hit the hit the medicine ball, then I just go start over to the next round. And that's kind of what we're going to be working on, kind of being aware of how my body's set up. So I like to line up my putter and then get my feet kind of parallel with my putter. So I'm going to go ahead and move the camera so you can kind of see um, my target area, where I'm hitting from, and then I'll be commenting on it in a second, okay? So let me just go ahead and get the new camera angle up. I'm going to be hitting over there towards where my bag's at. So I have five golf balls. So I'm going to be hitting towards that first one over there, right along the side of over there. Have to get three out of my five, okay? Missed it. Missed it by a little bit. Travel's pretty straight, so I'm going to kind of aim a little left. So that's one. I'm going to go ahead and move that just in case it doesn't prevent me from hitting in the next one. That's two. Ooh, and barely got lucky on that one. So I hit 3. So now I'm going to go to the second base, which is right here, right where my putter's sitting at, okay? So in order to, if you practice this at home, and you don't get it, all 3 on that first round, then you would just hit it again. Hit another round towards that first base. So now I'm going to aim pretty straight. I'm going to hit 1. I'm going to hit 1 straight there and then see how it is. If I'm going to have to make any adjustments on my second and third. But pretty straight. It kind of curved at the very, very end. So that's 1. That's 2. Off left a little bit. 2 out of 3. Ooh, some pressure on me now. 2 out of 4. Oh, and it curved right at the very end. So now what I would do is collect all my golf balls and I would just go again. Right? For time reasoning, I'm going to go ahead and advance to the third round, third base. Third base is a little closer, and second base was. Second base had that little curve at the very end, so I took out a little dip right before he gets to the ball. Hit it 1 out of 1. At second base, wrong base. Right around. I'm going to cut him right here. All right. So let me go ahead and move the camera and talk about that round. So during the last 2 rounds, the second and third base, I seen that my ball was traveling in that direction of my target, right? So a lot of times we hit and we don't get it exactly to our target, right? But as long as it's going in that direction, you should feel pretty happy about it, right? Um, Sometimes you hit a shot that you might think is a bad shot, but it's not a bad shot. It just wasn't a good shot for that scenario. For instance, one of the coaches that we work with, Coach Sergio, when we go on course, I'll hit, say, a 6-iron on a 165-yard shot, and I crush it and send it 180 yards. So now I'm past my target. Now I'm almost 20 yards away from my target, which might seem bad, or at the moment seems bad, but now what I kind of came to understand is it wasn't a bad shot. I just misjudged that shot. So I'd kind of use perseverance while I'm playing, and kind of put myself in that situation next time I'm 165 yards away. Now, if I hit it with a 6-iron 180 yards, what club am I going to use next time in that distance, right? So that's kind of something to think about. Um, but as long as my ball's going in that direction, I'm fairly happy. Um, this is also a game that you can do with a wedge, right? A lot of times we get to the putting green, and this is something that Coach Sergio was working with me before quarantine hit. When we would work on my golf game, what I would do is I told him, oh, I want to shed some strokes off our score, like everybody else does, right? So what do I have to do, right? So I told him, well, a lot of times I would 2-putt, sometimes even 3-putt, and he would say that's easy. What you want to start doing is setting yourself up for an easier first putt. And what does he mean by that? So what I started practicing, and you could do it with this game, right? I have 3 targets that I could aim to. As long as my ball's going in that direction, I'm going to be fairly happy. Chipping, you want to get it fairly closer to your target than when you're hitting a shot from 250 yards away. You're kind of more understanding, right? So let me grab my club of choice. So for the most part now, when I'm chipping onto the green, I'm fairly close to the hole. I used to always use my 60 degree, right? So now I use my 52 degree, and I tend to let the ball roll more now. I want the ball to roll to my target, so I use a 52. If you're kind of at the age where you still don't know what the difference is, so I'll tell you real quick, a 52 degree is gonna make my ball. It's a wedge shot, chipping shot. I use it with the chip when you're chipping, um, but it's gonna not go as high as a 60 degree. The 60 degree. Let me see if I can get it right in the camera angle. 60 degrees is gonna have more of a loft, so it's gonna cause the ball to go higher. So when I'm aiming to my target, it's not gonna roll as much to my target, right? I might be aiming straight to my target, but I might fall short. When I'm using a 52, I'm letting my ball roll more to the hole. Okay, so typically I don't really use my 60 degree at all anymore. But before, kind of Coach Sergio had mentioned, 60 degree was the only club that I would kind of use when I would chip, because I felt like I was more in control, but I didn't really realize that it was leaving me short of my target a lot. So now I kind of came to realize, all right, well, I'll use my 52. So something you could do at home. I won't do it here just because I have real golf balls. I don't have anything that could break, but I don't want to show you guys something with real golf balls, and then you guys go home and use real golf balls. So something you can do is get a paper golf balls. So just get a paper ball, squeeze it up until crunch it up into a ball and hit those. Um, and then you wouldn't get as much of the roll, so you would kind of almost have to invest in some fake golf balls, styrofoam golf balls, wiffle balls kind of work well. But you would want to practice this drill where you're aiming to your targets, um, and then see if you could get that roll to your target. And like I said, that's going to prevent you from two putting, three putting, four putting, and start lowering your score if you set yourself up for a real putt, a real easier putt. One thing I started doing, Coach Sergio had helped me with, was going to the PGA website and looking at the professional statistics, right? So how many pros are making 6 foot putts? How many pros are making 8 foot putts? How many pros are making 10 foot putts? Because when you're put in that situation in a 6 foot putt, it might not seem that hard, but then you go to the PGA's website and you see their stats of the professionals that are shooting those shots. Now, say there's only 70%. So 3 people on a group of 10 are going to miss that shot. So you kind of start realizing that it's not so much normal, but you're a little bit more accepting of the result that happened from a 6 foot putt. So that's kind of what this drill is going to help you with, getting you aimed to your target, becoming aware of reading the putting greens. Um, that's something really, really good to practice. Um, yeah, so that's it with Coach Johnny. I hope to see you guys next time. If you have any questions, feel free to message us on any of our social media platforms. Hope to see you guys soon once COVID starts to clear up a little bit. But until then, I hope to hear from you guys soon. Thank you.